Hi everyone, I'm Becky,
And I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering book reviews. Today we're talking about Spells for Lost Things by Jenna Evan Welch, which I got off of NetGalley.
I did too.
So this book is told from two perspectives. It's Willow and Mason, and Willow is going into her senior year of high school, and she lives in Los Angeles. Her mom is like a big time like party planner to the stars kind of thing. And she's kind of lost because her parents had gotten divorced. Her dad immediately got remarried and had triplets. Her mom moved her across the country, and she doesn't feel like she fits in anywhere. She doesn't feel like she has a home. And her mom gets this notification that her mother's twin sister died, and Willow didn't know her mom had a twin sister. And so they have to go back to Salem, Massachusetts to settle the estate. And once they get there, Willow starts to uncover mysteries about her family. Flip side, there's Mason, who is in foster care because his mother's an addict and has lost him. I feel like, was he like 5 or 6 when the mom lost him? He'd been in foster care for quite a while.
Quite some time, yeah.
And a friend of his mother's came out of the woodwork. He's 16 years old, and this was his mother's best friend from childhood, and decided that she and her husband wanted to foster him. And so they became foster parents just for Mason. And so Mason's taken to Salem to live with Emma and Simon and their 4 daughters. Um, 3 of them, which are under the age of 5 and are hilarious when they interact with Mason. And Simon, Mason's foster father, is a realtor. And so he gets invited, I guess, to be the realtor to come like look through the house that Willow's mom's trying to sell. And through a series of interactions, Willow and Mason make this connection, and Mason thinks that Willow is a sign from the universe, and Willow thinks that Mason can help her figure out what happened with her family and what happened with her mother and her aunt. And they just kind of connect and feelings grow.
So as you're like describing all of it, it highlights the different key points that I really like about this book because I really enjoyed this book. I liked the dual perspectives. I think it showed a depth to this book that she doesn't show in many of her other books. Like because both of the characters were very well developed and very well rounded and like they were deep, you know what I mean? And so like there was a lot to kind of hold on to because they had full on backstories, they had full on lives, they were distinct from each other.
Right. No, I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed this book, and I didn't dislike her other books, but I enjoyed this book way more than the other ones. And I don't know, I can't remember. Maybe it's because you don't usually get both perspectives of the story. They were both very well developed, and even though Willow seemed to have a privileged life, like her problems were just as realistic as Mason's problems. I thought the way that the characters were developed and the way they came together worked and made sense. I thought she did a good job of showing you Salem. Um,
See, and the thing is, like, she does rely heavily on settings that kind of you already kind of have thoughts about or expectations. But the thing is, we didn't really explore Salem too much in that we spent more time exploring the family home. And I think she really developed that setting very well. And I think that might be why it was so better for me in this book than it was in the other books because she wasn't relying on those expectations. She was really crafting a setting.
well, and I feel like the family home and like just like Willow's family felt like what you would expect of a witchy family in Salem.
It's true.
And I thought like the backstory talking about the curse and how the curse came to be and like what would be resolved, like, and it feels like I was trying to decide like is this book, because there is like just a couple little moments that you're like, is it magical? Like, is there a little bit of magic? Which could be like the same thing that you would say about the family. But when you think about it, like families have those stories, like this is how they got torn apart. This is what has always happened because of. And it made it really realistic. And I feel like she also like every character that was added was necessary.
And it added to the story.
Yeah, even like there were moments with Mason and Nova, which was Simon's daughter. Like even those moments you were like it worked, you know? Like I was genuinely surprised one and I will be honest, I didn't really want to read it. And I like kind of like I was like, "Oh, I have to read it." And then like whenever I started, like I didn't want to stop.
I did enjoy it as well. There was one part kind of with the resolution related to, I don't want to give away anything, but related to Willow and another character that like it didn't feel genuine. It like happened very fast. That felt kind of disjointed from the rest of the story. But like it was just like one piece, like a couple of pages, not, and so like it was like a wonky part of the story, but like it all kind of worked holistically. So
I
I
didn't
don't know. I enjoyed it
I
more than I enjoyed any of her other books.
I don't really have anything else to say. Should we just rate it?
Yeah, we can.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We've got into 2 unicorns. If you don't like it, it's a horse.
I'm going with 4 unicorns just because of that wonky part in at the end. But because it wasn't like perfect, for me. So I'm giving it 4 unicorns.
I'm like at a 4.5, and for some reason I'm like, it's not quite a 5. So I am gonna go with a 4 as well. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the setting, I enjoyed the mystery, I enjoyed the whole thing, and it was so fast to read.
Yeah,
Like I think that there's a lot of people I will be able to give this to a lot of people.
I agree.
So that is where we are on the spells for lost things, and we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.